Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm here for a spooky October book haul. I was meant to be on a book buying ban, okay, but the whole point of it was because I didn't have that much space on my shelves left anymore, and I also had like 50 unread books on my physical TBR on Goodreads. And then I got that TBR down quite a little bit, and then I done an unhaul which got it down even more, and then I went a bit crazy, so we now have a book haul. So, I didn't really stick to the book buying ban at all. I don't even think it lasted a couple of weeks, to be honest. But I don't feel guilty about it because it wasn't for money reasons, it was mostly for, space reasons. And also the majority of these were thrifted again. I'm going to go over the prices because I like to do that. I think it's quite interesting, just knowing how much people paid for books, especially if they're like thrifted, secondhand. So I'm going to talk about that. Obviously, also, I have some Halloween makeup on, a little candle, we can't really see it. It's behind me. And I also have a little pumpkin here that I carved. He's kind of spooky. I don't really like him, to be honest. And I also don't know if I've ever carved a pumpkin before, but so I was doing it and I was like, is this my first time carving a pumpkin? But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, all the stuff that helps out the channel, and let's just get started with the book haul, which probably should not exist. I'm also going to flip this video this time, which is definitely going to give me body dysmorphia, but it's fine. Someone last time commented on my unhaul, like, thinking that they broke the video somehow because it was like flipped, and I was like, no, I just don't like flipping it. But anyway, so this very first one was a gift, so didn't break the ban, but this is Earthsea, the first 4 stories by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I love her sci-fi stories, so I'm very excited to read her fantasy stories. This was from my dad, and it's such a nice, like, I love this colour. And I don't know much about it other than it's a classic fantasy series. I think it might be middle grade, but don't quote me on that, but there's like 4 separate books in this book, and obviously, so they're all pretty short, so I think they might be middle grade. Again, don't quote me, but super excited to read that. I'm definitely going to get to it soon. I love her her sci-fi, sorry. So I definitely want to try her fantasy, and I also want to read more of her sci-fi. It's been a while since I've read one, and I have loved the 2 that I read so far. Next, I have The Cauldron of Life by Caroline Logan, and this is book 2 in a Scottish-inspired fantasy series. I talked about book 1 in my last wrap-up, and I will talk about book 2 because I've already read this. It was great. I gave it 5 stars. It was even better than the first one. I'll talk about this in my October wrap-up, which is coming next week probably, so look out for that. But definitely like a big fan of the series. It's by a small indie publisher as well, and I got like a little handwritten note from them with just like saying thank you, and a bookmark, and this poster, which is the first book's front cover, but on the back it has a map of the land from the book, which I thought was super cool. So I just thought it was so cute, especially the note, like it was so nice. So definitely stand them, definitely check it out, and check out my reviews, so last wrap up and coming wrap up. Next I have The Infernal Devices, next 3 books in the Shadowhunter series. I was going to just read the next 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series, but everyone kept saying that it's better to read these ones first, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, as if it mattered at this point anyway. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy them eventually, so I may as well get the best reading experience I can and read them. I really like the covers again for these, they're super cute. And I'm actually going to start this tonight, the night that I'm filming this video. So that is very exciting. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the Shadowhunters series because, like I said, I love it. So all of those are new. I think the Shadowhunters books were like £5 each. I got it as a bundle, so it was like £12 plus £3 postage, so that was like £15. The Scottish one was like £7, I think. And then the other one was a gift, obviously. Next, these are not exciting at all, but I have books 2 and 3 in the Wheel of Time series, which I've already read and already have reviews up, so if you're interested in that, definitely go and check them out. I have a video on each of these. I'm doing a video for every book in the series. However, book 4, my library they have the most random ones, like, I don't know, I'm guessing they just withdrew some over the years, but they didn't have these 2, so I had to buy them, which is kind of annoying. Also, they don't match, which is even more annoying. But I probably will unhaul these. I don't know, like, I do enjoy the series, but I don't think I'm probably going to reread them anytime soon to make it worth keeping, like, such big books. I don't know. But these were like £2 each, and I got these off of Abe Books, which I thought was super cool website, which it is, and the books are really cheap and secondhand. However, I then realised that they're owned by Amazon, as everything is, so I'm going to try and not use it again. But also because they're only £2, I'm like, how much can Amazon really take out the sellers, like, surely if it's only £2 they're not taking that much, but otherwise it wouldn't be worth the seller's hassle, you know what I mean? But anyway, that is what it is. Next, you're probably wondering, why do you have this? I have all of the Twilight books, like Twilight, Newman and Eclipse in paperback, and I have my original Breaking Dawn, which is in hardback. So I wanted a paperback copy because every charity shop in the entire UK, I'm assuming it's probably the same in other countries, every single charity shop in the whole country has like 30 copies of every Twilight book. So I just picked this up. It was 20 pence. These next few books were all from this one shop. I always talk about it, where it's 5 books for £1, which is like great because it's literally 20 pence per book. So for 20 pence, I was like, I'll just get it. So matches. And then I decided afterwards that I'm actually going to try annotating for the first time for a video. I've never annotated a book, so I think it could be kind of a fun video. And since I already have like a nice hardback copy of this, I could like actually highlight it and stuff. So I think I'll probably do that at some point. Cause like I said, I've never annotated, but I think it's kind of cool when people do. This next book was from the same shops. This is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I talk about Gone Girl all the time. I loved it, so I definitely want to try some for other books. This one, I don't even know what it's about. I just know, again, it's a mystery thriller, and I don't really want to know much more. I think it's better to go into thrillers, obviously, kind of blind. So excited for that. This I purely just picked up because I needed a 5th book, and I recognised it obviously because it was like huge when the movie came out, and that's the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. And I'm ashamed I don't know much about this. However, I remember when the movies were really popular, like everyone was talking about it. I never saw the movies. It's a thriller, I think, judging from this. And I literally just needed like a 5th book to make it the £1, so I picked this up. And I probably will get to it at some point. It's bigger than I expected, but yeah, it's not a priority, but I think it would be kind of cool. This next one is definitely Fate. So like 2 videos ago, I done a books, or not 2 videos ago, a while ago, last month, oh my god. I done a video on books I want to give a second chance, and this was one of them, Final Girls by Riley Sager, whatever you say. And I said that I wanted to give this another chance, and then literally like 2 days later, I went into the charity shop and saw this on the shelf, and I was like, okay, that's Fate. So obviously I picked it up, and definitely going to read it soon. I almost slid it into my October TBR since I was like, you know, it's spooky vibes, it's like horror, thriller, but I ended up not reading it. But this one is definitely a priority because I am just very intrigued. And the fact that I talked about it in a video and then saw it like 2 days later, I was like, that's Fate. So that one's also 20 pence. And then this one is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And I know that Ready Player 2 comes out in November. So I was going to try and read this before the next one comes out. However, my November TBR is huge. I have so many books on it because I'm taking part in Digithon and also the Non-Fic November. So I have such a big TBR. And also the next Wheel of Time book 4 for that is 1,000 pages. So November is a bit of a crazy month. So definitely don't think I'm going to get to this before the new one comes out. However, I hope I do like it. I've seen the movie, so I know what to expect. I don't know if there's much difference between the movie and the book. But I've seen the movie and it was quite enjoyable, so I'm excited to read this at some point, whenever I get to it. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I'm not going to read any of these books till like February, because I have my November TBR planned, and then December I'm kind of planning on taking like the last half of the month off once I reach my 100 books on Goodreads. I don't want to read more than 100 books. I want to sit on exactly 100 so that when I can do a stats video, it's so like clean. So I think I'm going to read 100 books and then take a break for the end of December reading. But yeah, and then January, I've said this a few times, I want to reread all of my favourites because I haven't reread any books really, other than ones like the Hunger Games that I read back in like 2012 for the first time. Like since I joined BookTube, I've not reread anything, so I want to reread like Jane Eyre and stuff like that. But that will happen in January, so then I'm not even going to read any of these probably until February, which is crazy. But anyway, these next few books were also, a few of them were from, so this next one, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley. I've read this before, really enjoyed it, and I just saw this nice, although the spine's a bit ruined, Penguin Classics edition for 20 pence, so obviously snatched that up. E.M. Forster, Howard's End. This one was from a shop in Harrogate when I was visiting Helen, and I think it was like £1.50, and I don't know anything about it other than E.M. Forster wrote a book called Maurice that I really want to read, but I haven't read that one yet. But I just saw his name and I was like, you know, I want to read something by him, so I might as well pick this one up. It was like £1.50. Don't know anything about it. I feel so bad when I say that. I know on Guru Gossip people always complain like, oh, in hauls they never say they know what the book is about. It's so lazy. Like, I'm sorry. This next one, okay, when I saw this is also from Harrogate. It is We by this author. I'm assuming, I think he's Russian. I'm not even going to try and say it. And I actually like gasped out loud when I saw this in a charity shop because I feel like it's such an obscure book. It is a dystopian, and Eleanor from, I don't know her surname, sorry, but she's a Scottish booktuber and she done a review on this and I thought it sounded really interesting, so I added it to my like Christmas list for my parents, and then I saw it in that shop for 150 again, and I think it was an Oxfam shop and I was like, that is such a like weird coincidence, because I feel like it's such an obscure book. She's the only person I've ever heard mention it, even within like classic circles. Like I've never heard anyone talk about it. So excited to get to this. It's a dystopian. Don't know much more about it. I think, and if I remember from Eleanor's video, she said that this was kind of the inspiration for 1984. Maybe, don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, next, again from the 20 pence shop, Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte, in this Penguin Classics edition, and the spine on this is really good, which, you know, we have to stand. And this is my favourite book of all time, or so I say. I'm excited to reread this in January and see if it holds up to what I imagine it. I loved it the first time I read it, but obviously it's been a while since then now. It's been like a year and a half at least. So excited to try it again in January, and obviously this Penguin Classics edition for 20p is like such a bargain. This one, oh, I forgot, this must have got mixed in. This is not a classic, but this is Fever of the Blood by Oscar de Murillo, and I talk about this all the time. It is like a Scottish crime series set in like 1880s, and I just love it. The author is so nice. We've talked before, and he gave me the arc for the last book in the series, and this is my favourite one. So when I saw it for, I think this was $2.50 actually from the Oxfam shop, but still a good deal, because I definitely want to reread it, and it's really good condition. So we have to stand, and then finally I have The Life of Charlotte Bronte by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I got this from the Bronte Museum when I visited with Helen, which I made a vlog about, which is my last video, so go check that out if you've not seen it. It was so fun to just like, you know, see their house and everything, and the woman stamped it to say, I don't know if you can read that, that it was purchased at the Bronte Parsonage Museum, Haworth, Yorkshire. So I wanted this anyway, and I wanted to get a souvenir while I was at the museum, just like kind of mark the occasion. So I decided to pick up there, and I'm excited to get to it. I think this is one of my non-fic November picks. However, I don't know if I'm going to get to it because I have a big TBR for that, to be honest. And that is all the books. Quite a big stack, I know, for someone that's meant to be on a book buying ban. However, I don't feel guilty about it. Like I said, most of them were like 20 pence each, which is such a bargain. Even the few that were like 250, 150, like that's still a good deal. So I don't feel bad about it, to be honest. And I'm excited about all of them pretty much. Apart from like the girl with the dragon tattoo, I'm not that excited for it, but I definitely know that I will pick up eventually. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you in my next video.